Gstaad, Switzerland, a fairy tale village in the Swiss Alps. Nestled in the Bernese Oberland, Gstaad sits at 1,050 meters, 3,445 feet above sea level. It's part of the Saanen region and surrounded by snow-capped peaks and lush valleys. Gstaad is famously upscale with high-end hotels, designer boutiques, and gourmet restaurants, yet it retains the look and feel of a traditional Alpine village. The heart of the village is a beautiful cobblestone street with wooden chalets, cozy cafes, luxury shops, and Alpine bakeries. Gstaad's food is built on freshness, Alpine cheeses, local meats, fresh herbs. Even the simplest meal tastes different at altitude. Traditional Swiss dishes are served with quiet elegance: rosti, fondue, and herbs from the Swiss mountains. You don't come here for loud plates. You come for the flavor of the Alps. Gstaad is renowned for its perfectly preserved Swiss chalets, flower-filled balconies, and harmonious building codes that maintain its traditional appearance. Water flows down through the village, past mountain streams tucked behind chalets, or trickles gently along the edges of forest paths. Madonna, Valentino, and royalty, such as Prince Charles, have vacationed or even owned chalets here. But it never feels flashy, just elegant and private. Best time to visit: summer, lush green valleys, quiet, great for filming village life, and hiking. Winter, snow-covered roofs, skiing, and authentic Alpine wonderland aesthetics. You can drink water from public fountains. No filters, no bottles, just pure Alpine water, rising straight from the ground. Everywhere you look, life is growing quietly, confidently. It's wild, soft, natural, like the land is free to speak for itself. Now we leave Gstaad, the quiet village in the Alps, and head toward Lausanne, Switzerland, a city that rises gently from the shores of Lake Geneva, where history meets water and every street leads to a view. We've just arrived in Lausanne, a lakeside city that greets you with calm streets, soft hills, and the quiet sparkle of Lake Geneva. It already feels like a place that invites you to breathe a little deeper and slow down. Welcome to the lake. This is Lac Léman, better known to the world as Lake Geneva, a mirror between mountains, where water and sky seem to trade places. Boats here don't just wait, they rest, tied to their docks like gentle animals, rocking softly in the breeze. Some belong to local sailing clubs, others to quiet adventurers who know these waters better than roads. It's not just a view, it's a feeling. Calm, clean, endless. Even the mountains across the lake seem to lean in and watch. Then we left the boats behind and began walking through the streets of Lausanne. The streets here feel different, not just because they're clean, but because they breathe. Tall trees line the walkways like quiet guardians, their branches stretching above balconies and rooftops. They don't just offer shade, they offer presence. Every leaf seems to move with purpose. Every breeze carries the scent of earth and pine. Even in the heart of the city, nature is everywhere. Not forced, not arranged, just allowed to exist beautifully. And then, without warning, we walked into sound. A deep, resonant note carried down the promenade. Slow, ancient, and unmistakably Swiss. The Alphorn. By the lake, they wait. Not for food or attention, but just to be seen. The swans of Switzerland feel like they belong to the water itself. They glide, rest, preen, never in a hurry, never out of place. Their reflection is as calm as their movement. Locals pass them without a second glance. Tourists stop to admire. But the swans, they just carry on. Graceful, silent, timeless. Here in Lausanne, they gather in small groups near the boats, as if they too are anchored to this place. They are not decoration, they are part of the story. One swan, alone on the water, but never lonely, because swans are not wanderers, they are bond makers. They often choose one partner for life and return to the same place each year to build their nest. Their nesting season begins in spring. The female lays between 5 and 10 eggs, cradled in a soft, high nest near the shoreline. She'll sit for over a month, rarely moving, while her mate stands guard, silent and strong. When the cygnets hatch, they ride on their mother's back, small, gray, and weightless. For a few short weeks, they are carried through the world, learning how to float before they ever try to fly. And even as adults, swans move like water, with purpose, grace, and just enough distance. Lausanne isn't the biggest city in Switzerland, but it feels like one of the most complete. It's home to just over 140,000 people, yet it carries the energy of a capital. French is the main language here, but the rhythm of the streets speaks many dialects: art, architecture, coffee, movement, and history. The city climbs up from the edge of Lake Geneva, rising in layers, from the gentle promenades at Auchy to the hilltops of the Old Town. At the very top stands the Lausanne Cathedral. Built in the 13th century, it's considered the most impressive Gothic building in Switzerland. For nearly 800 years, it has watched over this city, through war, reformation, peace, and modern life. Today, Lausanne is a city of students, artists, athletes, and thinkers. It hosts the International Olympic Committee, and the Olympic Museum is one of its crown jewels, not just for sport, but for spirit. The streets are steep, Naur Burhama, A true workout on foot. But they reward you. At every turn, a leafy square, a quiet church, a gallery, a view. Customs here are simple. People greet with a soft bonjour, even in elevators. Markets still sell cheese by the wedge, bread by the hour. And on Sundays, the city slows down, giving space back to the lake, to the families, to the silence. You'll find green everywhere, from the manicured Esplanade de Montbenon to hidden gardens tucked behind museums. Trees line the boulevards, swans line the shore, and the buildings. Some are new, glassy, and light, but many still hold their age. 18th and 19th century facades with wrought iron balconies and tiled rooftops, holding memories behind every window. Lausanne is not loud. It doesn't try to impress you. It just exists, beautifully. And now we end our journey between two worlds that feel 1,000 miles apart, but live inside the same country. Gstaad, quiet and still, wrapped in green and guarded by mountains, where time moves slowly, where silence is the luxury. And Lausanne, rising from the lake, filled with motion, music, and old stone streets, where history leans into modern life, and every hill hides a new perspective.